Hey, Big Commerce, Tommy Ekstrand here. I am the software engineering manager for the web and customer self-service engineering teams. Today is a very special day because I have the great pleasure of speaking with Tommy Ekstrand, a teammate who is very dear to me. Tommy is going to open up about how he made his journey from the customer success team at Big Commerce into our engineering organization. It's great to be here with you, Tommy. I bet that you already know what I want to ask first, don't you?
My first job at Big Commerce?
We really are connected after all these years, aren't we?
I started as a ninja in 2012. That was the year the world was supposed to end, according to the Mayan calendar, if you remember. Thankfully, it did not. Big Commerce was a lot smaller back then, maybe around 100 people total. My desk was a table in the corner. It actually wasn't big enough for my computer, the monitors, and the phone, so my phone had to sit on a chair next to my table. I took support calls for my first 18 months at the company, but I also wrote support articles and rebuilt the support website and created the first Big Commerce pattern library during that time.
That sounds like a really cool role, Tommy.
It really was, both challenging and rewarding, but I think yours is cooler.
Tell me about why you joined a customer success organization originally.
I was looking for a web developer position, and I had gotten turned down by Volusion, one of the early Big Commerce competitors. The Big Commerce tech support role talked about being able to use HTML and CSS to help merchants get their storefronts dialed in, and I thought it was a good opportunity to get some experience that eventually could lead to a full-time developer position that I was hoping for originally.
What a fantastic answer.
What a fantastic question.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, I think I know the answer to this next one, but enlighten us. When and why did you decide that you wanted to move into engineering?
I think I have two answers to this question. I bet it was within my first 2 months. I remember talking to so many clients. That's what we used to call them. They had questions for me that were already answered on the support website or in the product itself. I remember thinking there has to be a better way to surface this info to our users. That's when I knew I could make a difference if I had access to the code base and the time to contribute to it. The second is a bit earlier in my life. It was when I was in high school. I was going through some pretty serious health issues, and during that time I started to build websites as a way to support myself because I knew that my health was bad enough that I wasn't going to be able to go to college. So I started a business that managed other small businesses and nonprofit websites. I quickly fell in love with the coding and the websites because of the impact that I saw on all of those people that I worked with.
When I talk to you like this, colleague to colleague, it really feels like we're the same person, Tommy.
Really? I have to admit that. I do feel the same way.
When you think back on your move to engineering, what do you remember being the most surprising to you?
Definitely the amount of autonomy. In customer service, things like time to answer and availability for our customers are so important. But in engineering, you really don't have those same immediate pressures. My experience was especially unique in engineering, though, because within 2 months of joining, I had 3 different managers, and within 4 months of joining, both of the other engineers on the team actually moved to join other engineering teams at Big Commerce. Keep in mind, it was a long time ago, and Big Commerce is quite different now, but it did leave me pretty lonely as an SE1 because I had a remote manager and a large backlog of tickets to handle myself. It was really overwhelming, but sometimes getting thrown in the deep end can be a great way to figure things out.
I think you really handled that situation with grace, Tommy.
Thanks, that means a lot.
Now, tell me the most challenging part about moving into engineering.
Probably the burnout for me. Moving from an hourly role into a salaried position, you have to know when to stop working, and that can be pretty difficult. I remember a lot of weeks where I would work for over 100 hours. Part of it was I was so excited to finally be in engineering. I think another part was I felt like there was so much to do. And then, another part was I really felt like I needed to prove to the people that had hired me from customer success that it wasn't a mistake. Ultimately, though, working that much causes burnout, and that has a negative effect on the business and everyone around you.
Tommy, why do you think that people that come from a customer service or a customer support organization make good engineers?
It's definitely the mindset. People who work in customer support tend to be very curious by nature, and they like to solve problems. That's an essential skill set in software engineering. Plus, if they're coming from BC support to BC engineering, they have a huge leg up on things like product and company knowledge.
I have the same opinion. It's really nice to have somebody else confirm it. So let's say someone comes up to you and says, Tommy, I want to be an engineer. What advice would you give to that person?
You just have to do the work. Figure out how you can start contributing even before you have the job. Write good tickets, investigate issues thoroughly, and if you have access to the code, you could maybe suggest where the issue might be, or maybe even what code might fix it. You have to look for those opportunities to show that you already have the skill set, and then advocate for yourself to your manager and other leaders around the company.
Well, I'm not sure how you could possibly top that answer, but I'm going to ask the next question anyways. What is the most important quality that a person who wants to move into engineering should have?
I think I'll steal an answer from someone else that you and I have interviewed. I feel empathy is very important for the software end user and for your coworkers. Empathy for the customer will engage you to do good work that benefits the customer. And then empathy for your coworkers will help to build a trustworthy team around you.
I have really enjoyed this interview. I'm sad to say that this will be our last question.
I think you're an excellent interviewer.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that means a lot coming from you. Thank you. Okay, here it goes, Tommy. Give the person watching this video something actionable. If they want to become an engineer, which skills do you feel are the most important for them to go learn?
So these aren't going to be specific to engineering, but they are required to be a good engineer. I'll give you 3. First is work ethic. The second is communication. And the third is the ability to learn. So firstly, work ethic. You need to be able to consistently deliver what is expected of you. And really, you should strive for more than that. Communication, be really deliberate in both your spoken and your written communication. You need to set aside some time regularly to consider who needs to be informed and what they need to be informed about. And then finally, I think that learning piece, understanding how you learn best. There may be multiple ways you learn best. It might depend what you're trying to learn. But if you can understand this, it's going to unlock your ability to do anything that you decide to do.
Look at us.
Hey, look at us.
Look at us.
Huh?
Look at us.
Say it again.
Look at us.
Ha ha ha.
I want to thank Tommy today for this unforgettable chat. To all of you out there, thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions for me,
Or me.
feel free to send me a Slack. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.